Welcome back to Chow Time Pod. It's your host, Red. Got a video today from FBE Capital. The delusional obsession with six-figure salaries in modern dating. Please extra them below. Really appreciate that. See that, Chow? It's Chow Time. This is a bit older video, but it rings true even more now.
How much money should your man make a year?
8 figures.
8 figures.
Ideally.
Ideally, my husband needs to be making like $650,000.
Over $500,000. Over $500,000.
$500,000?
Fortress.
2 million.
I say like $1 million.
I'm thinking about $1 million.
They probably 6 figures minimum.
Okay, cute.
Yeah, definitely 6 figures. 6 figures.
I think 6 figures is definitely decent.
So if you're out there and you make 15 million or better,
Is that bad?
Yeah.
Wow, so obviously all of these people are completely detached from reality and have no idea on how the world actually works, or even just how basic math works for that matter, since not only are they requiring high 6-figure salaries as minimums to live off of, they are also demanding 7-figure salaries from men in order to consider dating them, as if $500,000 is just slumming it. And thus, this creates the question, what does it even mean when women say, I don't date broke men?
we shouldn't be dating that broke
I think it's just they don't like men that don't spend all of their hard-earned money on them. And that's what they consider broke men.
guy with all the sweet words.
Because I think it's selfish to be broke.
40K?
40K is a deal breaker.
That's a deal. That's like, oh, absolutely not. No way. Under no circumstance.
No.
If you're broke when I meet you, you don't stand a chance. Because
What's broke to you? What is defined broke?
you make less than double what I make.
So this is exactly the clown show we're dealing with. Now, I touched on this in a previous video where I said that broke these days doesn't even mean being in debt with no income, and this girl just literally said being broke is making less than double what she makes. So if we zoom out of crazy land for a sec and take a look at some basic numbers from the United States Census, then we see that the median income for men in 2021 was around $61,000, and for women it was around $51,000. So by her definition, that means that every single guy making less than $102,000 a year is considered broke, which is well over the majority of men. However, most women think that making $100,000 is easy and that everybody is making this in their 20s.
They think it's easy because a lot of them are in sex work. A lot of them are in that fast money sex work. They're making thousands a day doing whatever the fuck they're doing. And they think it's like that for men. They don't realize that selling their body is such a commodity that only they have the power to sell. That other men don't have this access to that kind of money.
I'm 20, so maybe a good 75K right now.
75K?
Yeah, right now. And then 25, it should be like 150. And then 25, it should be like 150.
How much do you think your guy should make?
You should be making the same amount as me.
Same amount as you?
Yeah, I've made 95K in the last month.
The last month.
See? They're judging by how they can earn when they're sex work. And yes, they can earn tremendous amount of money at such young ages. So they assume young men can do very similar.
25K? You think I got?
Yeah.
Okay, what do you do?
I underwear.
See guys, just sell your undies online and you'll be making $95K a month ASAP. I don't know why you broke guys aren't doing this.
Us brokies.
Anyways, back to reality.
Broke,
Since the US
dusty,
Census
musty
actually
crusties.
cuts off at $200,000 because, you know, common sense, and because only around 11% of all US households make more than $200,000. So that's both men and women combined, which just shows you how extremely delusional it is to expect a guy to make a minimum of $500,000 or even $1 million just to support you and your crazy spending habits, because ultimately that's what it all boils down to.
To take you on vacation.
offer you a credit
It's
card
always the
or
vacations.
give you a wage.
Buy you a nice gift.
A Pagani BC.
How much is that car?
I don't even know. Probably at least like 1.5 mil for sure.
my
at
God.
least.
Take you to nice hotels.
Something more realistic that I would get. Maybe like some sort of like F12 Ferrari.
Wait, hold up. Her realistic backup car is the Berlinetta F12 Ferrari, which starts at around $250,000. Yeah, that makes perfect sense, right? By the way, drop a like on the video if you think that this generation is completely delusional, and comment down below what you think. Now, I'm not against buying expensive things that you've worked hard for and want.
Agreed. I worked hard. I spent some money on a car. It's very fun, guys. It's very fun. I love the car and almost every aspect of it. Yes, it's electric. Yes, I lost my mind according to some of you guys, but it's fucking fun.
To enjoy, just make sure you can easily afford them and not put yourself in a financial mess. However, that's not what's going on here, is it? Because in this modern dating madness, many women just want to be given a $250,000 car or a crazy expensive engagement ring, because when it comes to spending, then all of a sudden they want to be traditional again.
How much should a wedding ring cost?
$62,000.
We'd agreed no more than 3 months of income on his end.
I think a wedding ring should cost as much as is in your couple's budget, but mine personally is going to cost around $600K. $600K.
I want either Tiffany Co, Cartier, anything expensive where you could see like a mile away.
2 times his salary.
Jesus is what I said. Jesus is what I said.
Okay, first, can we get a moment of silence for the guy who's dating the last one? I mean, the intensity with which she said 2 times his salary. It's as if it's the most normal thing in the world. RIP, bro. Because there is no way that this type of spending stops at the ring, and I'm sure that this dude is probably wasting a lot of money in that relationship. Anyways, moving on, because we have to take a closer look at what's driving all of these insane beliefs, and of course, this brings us to social media.
Hi girlfriends, and welcome back to Clairbank Style, where we talk about luxury, handbags, travel, fashion. I just want to preface this video by saying that I did not purchase all of this. Like, you know, I don't date broke guys. So,
That's a lot of money behind her, guys. Holy cow, that's a lot of money. I can't even fathom how much money, because those shoes, those bags are thousands of dollars a piece. My jeez, man. Stop it. Stop spending on money on ridiculous women that provide no value.
The biggest problems with social media is that it's normalizing things that are absolutely not normal. 18-year-olds and 20-year-olds buying their first house, that's not normal. Going on holidays 4 times a year, again, not normal.
Yep.
Buying a $250,000 car in your early 20s, that's not even close to being normal. Neither are $1,000 handbags, $500 shoes, or eating golden hamburgers. Even people with generational wealth refuse to spend their money this way, but somehow social media has convinced women that if a guy is unable or unwilling to spend in this manner, then he's broke and you should definitely not date him.
Would I date a guy who brings in $40,000 a year? There's nothing wrong with not wanting to be with somebody because of how much money they make.
Obviously, if someone hasn't got any money, they're not going to be taking you.
She said that, guys. So don't be dating broke, dusty, musty crusties. They don't want us to.
For luxury holidays, they'll be taking you to Tenerife at most. They won't be taking you to Bali or the Bahamas.
Now, this is all part of a larger effort on social media and news outlets to constantly shame men.
He's not gonna get me a tiny ring. Yeah. He's gonna work 500 jobs.
Into spending like idiots on dates, expensive meals, and luxury gifts. Don't buy into this. Because cheap dates are perfectly fine and actually the best way to find out if you even like each other. If you go on this amazing over-the-top date costing hundreds of dollars, is it even the person that you're liking, or is it just the date itself? In Europe, it's perfectly normal to go out on a cheap coffee date or drink date in order to get to know the person and see if you actually have chemistry. But in the US, you see this heavy emphasis on elaborate dates.
So I think coffee dates are the worst kind of date you can go on, and here's why.
Why I don't believe in coffee dates, why they are a waste of time. Do not go on a coffee date.
It's a waste of time because they don't care to build any connection. They're not dating with intentions. They're just dating to drain resources from you. Wake up, man.
Extremely low effort, low value. And ironically, it benefits the man and not the woman or the connection.
You keep hearing these gold-digging influencers talking about how a guy should invest in you from the start, otherwise he's not worth your time.
Men fall in love through investing in women, especially masculine men, right? So
invest in what? If I buy an S&P 500 ETF, I know I'm getting an 8 to 12% return for life, plus dividends. What the hell am I getting buying a girl a $300 dinner on a first date? Sounds like a horrible investment to me. But hey, maybe that's just me. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Now, the women who want a guy to make at least 100k or more claim that this is only for taking care of the family, not because of frivolous spending.
Right.
For me, like, it's not about, oh, buy me this or take me here or do that.
Lies.
Like, I have every intention of building schools in Africa, of building schools in Africa.
Right, so you want a rich guy so you can build schools in Africa? Yeah, that makes sense.
So you want to be generous and a philanthropist, but you need a man to facilitate all that because you're a broke, dusty, musty, crusty. But you want to look famous and rich by donating all this money and help. That's not yours. Got it.
Anyways, even if the household income easily exceeds the 6-figure mark, but the guy doesn't make 6 figures himself, then that's still not good enough. This mindset is so mental and completely exposes the big fat lie about how independent women are and that they are now making their own money and they don't need men. Sure, women might make their own money, but a majority of them still don't want to spend it on essential things for the family or on the person they're dating.
I don't want any of my income to be needed in the family. I want the man to be 100% the supporter, but that doesn't mean that I'm not gonna work and I'm not gonna have my own business.
Our money is our money, but her money is her money, right? She's earning for herself.
But it's not 50-50 if his money is our money and your money is yours.
So not only does this expose a very selfish mentality of only wanting to take and never wanting to give, but it actually goes much deeper than that, since as women are starting to make more and more money, they are now shaming men for making less than them, claiming that if a woman is more educated or earns more than a guy, then she's dating down.
Women dating down, which means, a man who...
Dude, we have hardly, I don't even think men in general have ever shamed women for making less than us. We've never cared. That's the sad thing, that we've propagated women to be able to make how much money they make now. And they look down on men for doing the jobs that are needed to run society, even though they might not pay as much as you.
Dating down. This is just the reality of it. So women, we're more educated now, and I think that we're furthering our education. So with that being said, and I don't think there's anything wrong with hoping that there's someone either on your level or higher than you.
So, okay.
Go ahead, Love Doctor.
All right. So before, right, it was okay when the man made more money to be the one to buy everything, to do, treat you and all this other kind of stuff. And now that you make more money, you can't be that one, right? You can't be the one to pay for the meal and because you're dating down.
I hate
The people who say this nonsense are the same people who will celebrate a guy stepping down from a job to support the career of his wife, but then make fun of men in general who are stay-at-home dads. The hypocrisy is truly astonishing, and this is why I always say don't fall for the propaganda trap. Now, the second reason why this 6-figure obsession makes no sense at all is that at this point it has basically become a brand, a sort of status symbol, mostly used by people who have no idea what the value of money even is.
100, like 500 grand?
I have dated women that, talk about these things and saying, oh, I want this kind of man. And I've talked to many women like this. They have never been with that kind of man. You can tell by their mannerisms. You can tell by how they dress. You can tell like everything about them that you've probably never dated a high value or a good man that makes good money.
Is that a lot?
Yeah, people like that. Now, the irony of it all is that most millennials and Gen Z couples will actually have 2 incomes, which means that the family household can easily surpass $100,000, and thus they can easily live a very comfortable life together. That is, of course, if they actually get together and become a couple. Because this whole 6-figure obsession, together with other ridiculous dating standards and overall just terrible dating advice, is leading to an ever-increasing group of women chasing a tiny group of high 6-figure or even 7-figure men to then complain that they are getting played and discarded by those same men. This is exactly how you get situations like the Tinder Swindler. By the way, this was just one guy playing a handful of women, and they make a whole Oscar-worthy movie about this, blasting it across every single news station. While at the same time, millions of men worldwide are getting tricked into paying child support for kids that aren't even theirs.
Carnell is a wanted man because he refuses to do what the state orders and to pay child support for a child that DNA tests prove isn't his. A child he doesn't even know.
I haven't even had a chance to really speak to him except for one time when we took the DNA test.
Anyways, this all comes down to social media brainwashing people into thinking that six-figure incomes are the norm and that anything less is living in poverty. Demanding that your partner makes a certain amount of money or has a certain level of wealth only makes sense.
It's so... Do these women earn that kind of money? Other than the OnlyFans one and shit like that, but most of these women do not. Most of these women are struggling. Most of the women I've ever dated, they weren't struggling, but they weren't doing well. You know, there's maybe 2 women that I've dated that did well. I've even dated a woman that made 120 grand, but she was still living almost paycheck to paycheck with 0 savings. That's crazy.
Sense when you actually come from money. It's understandable that if you have a $10 million net worth, that you might want a partner that has at least $2 million of net worth, so that you can feel as if money isn't the reason that they're dating you.
True.
However, demanding a minimum of $100,000 a year of income for a guy when you yourself only make $40,000 makes absolutely 0 sense. This was 6-Figure Madness. Please drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel for more videos.
Earning 6 figures is not easy. Well, it took me, 37 years of my life to get to 6 figures. And I have to work multiple jobs, YouTube, and hustle like a mother chucker to even get there. And these women think every man should be making that kind of money. Please subscribe down below. I really appreciate that. And catch you guys next time. Ciao.